About a year ago, I picked up a side job digitizing old VHS tapes for a thrift store. It wasn't exciting work, just hours of rewinding, labeling, exporting files no one would probably ever watch again. But it paid well. And most of the tapes were harmless: family vacations, birthday parties, people recording over things they forgot to erase, memories stacked on top of memories. Nothing strange. Until I found one that didn't belong. It had no case, no label, just a strip of masking tape across the front, and written on it, very carefully, "Do not watch." Now, when you digitize tapes for a living, you learn one thing. People label things like that as jokes all the time. So I assumed it was just someone trying to be funny. I put it into the player, pressed rewind, pressed play. Static. At first, just static. That fuzzy gray noise all VHS tapes eventually decay into. Then, the image came into focus. It was a house. A completely ordinary house. White siding, narrow driveway, a dented mailbox leaning slightly to the left. I knew that mailbox, because I'd backed into it 3 years earlier. It was my house. I remember saying that out loud. Okay, not funny. I assumed one of my friends had filmed something outside and somehow donated it. But then I saw the timestamp. The date hadn't happened yet. It was 6 days in the future. I told myself the camera's internal clock was wrong. Old equipment does that. It had to be that. But the video kept going. The driveway was empty. Morning light, wind moving through the trees. Everything completely normal. For almost 10 minutes, nothing happened. Just a still shot of my house, like the camera was waiting. And then, the front door opened. I walked out. Same jacket I own, same bag I carry to work, same scratch on the doorframe. There was no mistake. I was watching myself, doing something I hadn't done yet. I felt sick, but I didn't stop the tape, because at that point, I needed to know how it was possible. The version of me on screen locked the door, walked halfway down the driveway, then stopped. Slowly, he turned and looked directly into the camera, right at me. Not like someone noticing they were being filmed, more like someone making eye contact. The image glitched, a harsh burst of static. The timestamp jumped forward. Hours passed in a fraction of a second. Now it was night. My house was dark, but the front door was open, wide open. I never leave my door open, never. Something moved inside, not walking, not stepping, sliding, like it didn't understand how bodies are supposed to work. Then it came out. It was shaped like a person, but wrong in the details. Too tall, arms slightly too long, head tilted, like it was trying to hear something far away. It stood on my porch, and then it looked at the camera and smiled. The tape cut to black. I sat there for a long time, trying to convince myself I'd just watched some kind of prank. But when I ejected the tape, I noticed something new. Words I swear hadn't been there before. "Do not watch" had become "you watched." That night, I didn't sleep. The next morning, I tried to forget about it. I went to work like normal, locked my door, walked to my car, and halfway down the driveway, I had this overwhelming feeling that I had already done this, exactly this. I turned around, slowly, and for just a second, I thought I saw someone standing inside my house, watching me leave. But when I went back to check, the house was quiet, exactly the way I left it. I stood there for a moment, keys still in my hand, telling myself I was being stupid. No movement, no sound, nothing out of place. I stepped inside anyway. "Hello?" My voice sounded small. That's when I saw the living room. The TV was on. I know I didn't leave it on. I always turn everything off. But there it was, flickering, playing something. I walked closer, and my stomach dropped. It was the tape. The same footage, the same angle, my house, my front door. Except this wasn't what I had watched before. This was now. On the screen, the front door opened. I walked in. Same clothes, same movement. I was watching myself re-enter the house, live. I stopped moving, because the version of me on the screen stopped too, like it was waiting. The image glitched, a violent burst of static, and then the tape froze, black screen. The television went dark. The room behind me reflected faintly in the glass. At first, I only saw myself standing there, not moving, not breathing, just staring. Then something else appeared in the reflection, behind me, tall. Too tall. Standing in the hallway, head slightly tilted, like it had been there the entire time, watching. It didn't move, didn't rush, didn't make a sound. It just smiled.